So here it is. They did it again. One thing you can say about Trump, if you don't like him, is that the people or the politicians who support them and him himself, they really have a way of exposing the craziness of the rest of the Republicans in the party. And what do I mean by that? Well, after a few weeks, we're still puzzled on who the House Speaker is going to be. And why is that? Well, because first of all, Matt Gaetz did the right thing and got rid of Kevin McCarthy. It was, to me, the best thing that could happen. Kevin McCarthy is a globalist. He's a rhino. He doesn't care about what the people want. He only cares about the elites. He only cares about making Washington work, but not rest of America work. So he had to go. So then you get someone like Jim Jordan, who is a people's politician. That's what I believe. I believe he is actually fighting for what's right, what is a good cause, and he shows it every day with his investigations, and that is exactly why they don't want him. And who's they? Well, the Republicans who voted against him, the rhinos, they're exposed. All these people are exposing themselves on a daily basis because we do have what is called a civil war going on right now in the Republican Party, because what you have is the old rhino Republicans, the fake Republicans who are really Democrats, and that's another problem we have. We have a lot of Republicans who are Democrats, but no Democrats who are Republican. So what you have is those people who are in red states who really are Democrats, and then they run as a Republicans because they have no chance of winning, or they're in blue districts and they have to appease the people in their district, so they vote with the left quite often. But I have failed to see anyone who really votes with the right. I don't see it in the Democrat Party. So back to what I was saying. So what you have now is a bunch of people exposing themselves that after they got rid of McCarthy, they refused to vote in Jim Jordan. And as I told you before when I did another video, over 90% of the Republican voters wanted Jim Jordan, but they refused to listen to their voters. Their offices even got flooded with thousands upon thousands of phone calls, and they didn't care what you say. They didn't care what you say. You know why? Because they're establishment Republicans. That's what you have to start seeing. It's not a Republican versus Democrat thing. It's a globalist versus populist thing. It's an evil versus good thing. And that's what you have to start getting. We have to get rid of these Republicans who are just as bad as the Democrats. The Republican Party is just as messed up as the Democrat Party, because all they care about is their donors and their families and themselves getting rich. That's it. They want wars. They want division. They don't want people who follow the Constitution. They want to just rule with an iron fist. So what did they do when they denied Jim Jordan that spot? They went and they voted for Tom Emmer. I think that's his name, Tom Emmer. So I started doing a little research on who this guy, because I never heard of him. And lo and behold, what happens? He happens to be associated with George Soros. So here we have Republicans who are actually voting in someone who is affiliated with George Soros and the globalist movement. There's a Republican, mind you, or a Republican in name only. So here we have a stalemate. We have a portion of the people who are actually in government that are fighting for the American people in the GOP. We have them, believe me, there's some there. And then we have people who want the status quo. People like Kevin McCarthy, people like this new guy, Tom Emmer, or whatever his name is. And you have the Mitch McConnells and all the other people I've been talking about day in, day out, the fake Republicans, the people who are just part of the problem. They're just part of the problem. I don't know how we ever going to get anything solved in this country, if we can even save this country, because as long as we have people who are fighting for the globalist movement, who are fighting on behalf of George Soros in the Republican Party, we're never going to win this thing. So somehow we have to continue to keep being involved, keep calling these people, let them know that we're not having it, man. We're not having it. This is way too much to put a so-called Republican that's associated with GS. Oh, glory, George Soros. Can't happen. So call the same people who voted against McCarthy and let them know we're not standing. I'd rather not have a speaker than have some guy that's associated with George Soros elected as as the Speaker of the House, because all those investigations, all that same stuff, the January 6th stuff, all that stuff is just going to disappear because this guy works for the deep state. That's for damn sure. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll talk.